أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين حبيب إله العالمين أبي القاسم المصطفى محمد والصلاة والسلام على آل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين الذي أذهب عنهم الرجس وطهرهم تطهيرا واللعن الدائم على أعدائهم أجمعين من الآن إلى قيام يوم الدين آمين رب العالمين اللهم لعن الجبت والطاغوت. Respected scholars, dear brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I would like to congratulate Imam Sahab al-Asri wa Zaman, our respected Maraja al-Udam and the Ummah al-Islamiyya on the holy birth of Ali ibn Musa Ridha, salamullahi alayh. And accompanying this birth is the birth of his sister, Sayedah Fatima Masoomah Qom alayhi salam. Tonight the discussion will be concerning the ziyarah and its obligation. So we will talk about the ziyarah and how the ziyarah is an obligation to all the believers. Now this is a question that I want to ask to everybody. This question is Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. This question is, why have we neglected what is available in our hadith al-Mubarakah and have sometimes taken the words of the ulama that are not udul? For example, a alim comes by, a scholar comes by and he tells you ziyarat al-Hussein mustahabba. The ziyarah, the visitation of Abi Abdullah al-Hussein is merely a mustahab recommended act. Your salah is wajib. Ziyarat al-Hussein mustahabba. Or we have, a couple years ago, we have one of the scholars, he comes and says, the women should not go to ziyarah, they should stay at home. It's better on them to not go to ziyarah. So why do scholars or these people, and why do we take from these people? When we have our turath, we read our books, we notice and we see that there is not 1, 2, 3, 4, there are several ahadith that tell you that the ziyarah is an obligation upon every believing man and every believing woman. Now, the questions I want to ask is basically that these people or these so-called scholars, and I respect the scholars that are adil and are just and that have qualifications, that do not just go and write a fatwa for no reason. The scholars, when they come and they write a fatwa, they take time and they spend sometimes years just to write one line of fatwa, because they do not want to write something against the shara', something against the imam. For on the day of judgment, they will be called for this. Imam al-Sadiq alayhi salam will come and tell him, you gave this delegation and this delegation, why? This is my question. Are these people, what do they lack? Do they lack ma'rifah, understanding? Do they lack knowledge of the Ahl al-Bayt? Maybe they haven't read the books. Or is it merely the fact that they can't confront the enemy? When the mukhalif comes, when the mukhalif brother comes, the ammi comes, is it because that this person can't confront his brother? When the brother tells them, God, you guys say ziyarah of Hussein is wajib. And then I guess sometimes it's fear, sometimes it's ma'rifah, sometimes it's knowledge. What is the problem? My answer is all of the above. These people lack ma'rifah. These people lack ilm. These people don't have that strength to be able to answer, you know what, this is why ziyarah is wajib. So now we're going to go look at our ahadith and explain them. The first ahadith we have here will be from the book Kamil al-Ziyarat, or as it's called, Jami' al-Ziyarat, by the compiler Ibn Qarbalai al-Qummi. Now when it comes to talking about Ibn Qarbalai al-Qummi, you go read the books of Rijal. Go read what Sayyid al-Khu'i says. Go read what Shaykh al-Najashi says, what Shaykh al-Tusi says, what Shaykh al-Mufid says. Every single one of them. Aslan Shaykh al-Najashi has stated that Shaykh al-Mufid, his only jurisprudential teacher, was Ibn Qarbalai al-Qummi and did not need any other teacher. This person is trustworthy, reliable, and has ma'rif of Ahl al-Bayt alayhim as-salam. Now before I narrate to you exactly the hadith, I want to narrates from the introduction of Shaykh Al-Qummi's book. Two passages from his introduction. The first one, hatta you guys see that this book is not just any book. This book is a mu'tabar, reliable book. Shaykh Al-Qummi, what does he say? He says, I have only narrated that which was reported to me by the trustworthy al-thiqat from my companions. And I did not include anything which has been reported by unknown or unreliable sources who are not well known for their knowledge of ahadith. Here, Shaykh Al-Qummi is giving us a hujjah saying, all the ahadith found in this book right here, this is the English translation of Kamil al-Ziyarat. All the ahadith found in this book, I narrated it from trustworthy sources. I didn't just take any source and narrate this book, narrate the hadith. Everything here is mu'tabar. Sayyid al-Khu'i called this book all mu'tabar as well. This other introduction, he says, this is the reason, because he wants to tell the readers, what is the reason for me compiling this book? This work, this is the words of Shaykh Al-Qummi, this work has been compiled to inform people of that which Allah has chosen for His friends from amongst those who go to the ziyarah of the grave of Hussein alayhi salam and the rest of the imma, the masters, and to increase their desire. Listen, increase their desire to attain nearness to the Imam, to go to their ziyarah through seeking great rewards and victory to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is in the introduction of Shaykh Al-Qummi's book. He says the purpose of this book is I want the believers to open it and to attain nearest to their Imam. To know their Imam, to know what is the ziyarah. In the hadith, the Imam says you visit Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam 5 hajj, then 10 hajj, then 1,000 hajj, then 70,000 hajj. Last time I heard a lecture from Sayyid Muhammad Ali Shirazi, he was saying that somebody asked him, what is the reason that the Imam here says 7, then 10, then 100, then 1,000? He says these are about the ma'rifah of the person. The person with the higher ma'rifah gets the higher reward. The more ma'rifah you attain of the Ahlul Bayt, the more ma'rifah and understanding you receive about the Imam, the more you know about Hussein alayhi salam, the more you know about Ali ibn Musa al-Ridha and his generosity and his kindness and the way he used to talk to people, the way he used to guide people to the way of Allah, the more your reward will be when you go visit him. Now, as for the ahadith, what do we have here? Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. So the first hadith here can be found in chapter 43. The chapters in this book follow the same chapters as the Arabic version of the book. The only thing that's different between this and the Arabic version is the page numbers. So this hadith here is narrated on the authority of Imam Al-Baqir alayhi salam. What does Imam Al-Baqir alayhi salam say? He says, order. This is an order from the Imam. And the Imam, when the Imam says something, sam'an wa ta'a, you listen to the Imam. Order our Shia to go to the ziyarah of the grave of Hussein alayhi salam. That's number one. Verily, going to his ziyarah is obligatory on every believer who testifies that Hussein alayhi salam is an Imam appointed by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Right now, I ask you guys here, if you believe that Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam is an Imam, muftar al-ta'a, appointed by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as a Khalifa on this earth, that means it's an obligation for you to complete this contract and to visit Abi Abdullah al-Hussein alayhi salam, to visit Ali ibn Musa al-Ridha, Imam al-Kadhim, all of them. Now this other hadith, which basically if you connect this hadith of Imam al-Baqir alayhi salam with this next hadith of Sahib al-Dhikra, Imam Ridha alayhi salam, what does he say? There is a binding contract. You and your Imam have a contract on every Shia and follower toward his Imam, and the most perfect and beautiful way, this is the eloquence of Imam Ridha alayhi salam. The most beautiful and eloquent way to fulfill this contract is to go to the ziyarah of the grave of that Imam. You have a contract, just like when a contractor and a customer have a binding contract. They tell me, you know what, I will give you $1 million. You build me this bridge between A and B. This contractor has now binded to the customer, and now he has to fulfill this contract. Sallallahu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. So the same way, for us believers, we have to fulfill all contracts. We have a binding contract, the Imam says. And the Imam says the most important way, the most beautiful way to fulfill this contract is for you to go to the grave of the Imam. What does the Imam say after? On the day of judgment, we will be your shufa'a. We will be your interceders on the day of judgment. You come to my ziyarah, you fulfill this contract in this dunya. On that day, the most fearful day, everybody is scared, everybody is running around, lineups are everywhere, people are crying, people are sad, the sun is right next to you, it's hot, you don't know what's going on. Imam Ridha alayhi salam comes to you, he takes your hand, ila jannah. That's how easy it is. Ila jannah, just come to me. Man taqaddama ilayya qadaman, taqaddamtu ilayhi dhara'a. Until you come, every step you take for Ali ibn Musa Ridha, he will come to you, double that step, even further than a step. And we're here in the West, how do we talk to Ali ibn Musa Ridha here in the West? We face the Qibla, and we say, Assalamu alayka ya Ali ibn Musa Ridha. He hears our salam, he sees our maqam, our status. The next hadith. This hadith destroys what people say about how women should stay at home and not go to the ziyarah of Ali ibn Musa Ridha alayhi salam. The next hadith, number 3, same chapter 43. What does it say? An Sa'ad. Imam Sadiq alayhi salam asked her, what did he say? He said, Ya Sa'ad, do you go to the ziyarah of the grave of Hussein alayhi salam? She said, yes. What did he say after? He said, go to the ziyarah of Hussein alayhi salam, for verily the ziyarah is wajib, an obligation on both men and women. You notice here when the Imam says something, it's designed perfectly. When he says men and women, he knows there's going to be a time that's going to come where some idiot alim is going to come out of nowhere and tell the woman, stay at home, don't go to ziyarah, it's mustahabba. He knows about this time. He knows that somebody's going to come and try to destroy Ahlul Bayt alayhim as-salam. Every day they try this. Now, they're going to come ask us, okay, how is this ziyarah? Can you prove it's wajib without this hadith? Yes, we say we can prove this. It's wajib. Now I ask you right now, Nusra, aid. Is it wajib to aid the Imam or no? Is it wajib? When the Imam now tells you, come to my aid, will you not aid him or no? I'm asking you guys now, is it wajib or no? It's wajib. Sahih? Right now, what is the only way in this zaman that we can aid our Imam? How do we aid our Imam in this era? We go to his ziyarah. We visit his grave. We let all the enemies look at us every single year. The more they blow us up, the larger we are. Right now we have ISIS in Iraq and people are still going to the ziyarah of Abi Abdullah Hussein. And I bet you this year the numbers are going to be even higher. Because these mu'mineen, they have ma'rifah. They have read these ahadith and they're like, you know what? I'd rather go a shaheed. Why would I want to live my life? I'll go a shaheed. If it's maktub for me to be a shaheed, I'll be a shaheed. So Nusra, aiding the Imam is wajib. When Imam Hussein alayhi salam on the day of Ashura says, Ala min nasr yansurana? And so how are you going to aid your Imam in this time right now? Tell me, how are you going to aid your Imam? Are you going to sit at home? No. If Nusra is wajib, ziyarah is wajib. The majalis of Hussein are wajib. This majlis is an obligation for you to come to as well. Because in here, this place is a holy place. This place has the name of Fatima alayhi salam on it. This place is muqaddas. And right now, you're maqam right now, where you're sitting down, wallah, 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 Ali ibn Musa Ridha will stand for you. Sallallahu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. ثاني على حب الحسن والحسين. ثالث على علي بن موسى الرضا بأعلى أصواتكم. Now I want to finish off by narrating some merits of the ziyarah of Ali ibn Musa Ridha himself, because he's sahib al-dhikra today. I chose a couple of hadith. I'm going to choose 2 of his hadith to read to you. The first one, everybody knows the hadith. It's by Imam al-Jawad alayhi salam. He says, those who go to the ziyarah of my father, Ali ibn Musa al-Rida, will be rewarded with paradise. In another hadith, those who go to the ziyarah by knowing his rights. من زاره عارفا بحقي وجبت له الجنة. عارف بحقي means what? You know he's Imam Muftad al-Ta'a. You know he's Imam appointed by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now another hadith. This hadith is in chapter 101, and it's the hadith number 11. This hadith hurts when you read it, but at the same time, ponder and think about it. Abu Ja'far, Imam al-Jawad alayhi salam, was asked, may I sacrifice myself for you, Ibn Rasulullah? Is going to the ziyarah of Ali ibn Musa al-Rida better, or going to the ziyarah of Hussein ibn Ali better? He wants to know, the Shi'i wants to know, what is the difference, or what is better, which one is afdal, ziyarat al-Hussein alayhi salam, or ziyarat Ali ibn Musa al-Rida? The Imam replied, going to the ziyarah of my father, Ali ibn Musa al-Rida, is better. The reason, listen, the reason is that everyone goes to the ziyarah of Abi Abdullah al-Hussein, but only the chosen ones, al-Khassa, from my Shia, go to the ziyarah of my father. Now, Al-Allam al-Majlisi commented on this. What did he say? Basically, he gave a couple of ideas. He said, when it comes to Ali ibn Musa al-Rida, now when you go to Iran and you go to Mashhad, inshallah, all of us in Mashhad, when you go to Mashhad, you see that the people that attend the Haram of Imam al-Rida alayhi salam, they're all Ithna Ashariyya. Because you have, at that time, the fitna of the Waqifah. The Waqifah that stopped at Imam al-Kadhim alayhi salam and rejected the Imam al-Rida alayhi salam. So right away at that time, the Shia that go to Ali ibn Musa al-Rida were right away known to be Ithna Ashariyya. And then the second opinion that Allam al-Majlisi says for this is that Abi Abdullah al-Hussein, everybody visits him. Abi Abdullah al-Hussein is considered to be part of the Sahaba, and hatta al-Mukhalifin, they visit him. He's still considered Sahaba, even though they don't probably visit him. But at that time, he's saying it depends on time. The Allam al-Majlisi says that depending on what era, some Imams ziyarah might be more. Because, for example, Imam Ridha alayhi salam at that time was gharib. Who would go all the way to Tus? The ziyarah was great at that time. Now, I want to end with a small story just to show you the generosity of Ali ibn Musa al-Rida. Because I took too much time right now, inshallah, just this story I'll finish, inshallah. This story, I listened to it from Shaheed Sayyid Muhammad al-Shirazi. What did he say? He said, one day, there was a lady, husband and wife. Every Eid, they go to Mashhad. And in their time there, they shop, they go to restaurants, they go to malls. That's all they do. So this lady, what happened is that when she was leaving, she looked at the dome of Ali ibn Musa al-Rida. She said, Ya Ali ibn Musa al-Rida, I didn't have the time to visit you. I spent my time here in your city, but all I want to say is thank you for giving me time here to spend in your city. And if you can please accept this one salam instead of my ziyarah. That's it. They left the city. And the Sayyid says, when they reached Nayshabur, those who have been to Nayshabur know, Nayshabur is a very holy place. She was sleeping, she woke up from her sleep, and then she said, stop the car. She said, what's wrong? Her husband's telling her, what's wrong? Stop the car. She said, right now we're going back to Mashhad. Her husband is telling her, we just came back from Mashhad. We're already far away from Mashhad. Why? She said, I was dreaming. In my dream, I saw Ali ibn Musa al-Rida, salamullah alayhi. He came to me, he told me, you enjoyed your time in my city, I'm very happy. And I accept your salam instead of your ziyarah. Generosity. And do you want to know what generosity is? Do you want to know what generosity is? You go to Ahl Bayt alayhim as-salam. I accepted your salam instead of your ziyarah. She's like, that's why I want to go back. They went back and they visited him. This is a tawfiq for them. They repented, they cried with sincere heart, and they went back. Ahlul Bayt are generous. Ahlul Bayt, no matter what, they'll accept your salam. Don't say, oh, I've sinned too much. Will they accept my salam today? No. And to just keep a connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala always. Tawassul. Seek wasila to Ahlul Bayt alayhim as-salam. Seek wasila. They will not let you go. Promise me they will not let you go. Just sincerely today, tonight, when you go home, sincerely. Just say Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alayka ya Ali ibn Musa Ridha. And then you just watch what happens. Sallallahu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.